How are we doing today? Yeah, what we're going to talk today is about how SalesIQ can actually help your business, how to convert sales and how to close more deals. We're going to talk about basically the practical application of SalesIQ in your business. So this is what we're going to talk about. So you're bringing in all this traffic to your website, so the traffic just shoots through the roof. But if that doesn't convert into more revenue for your company, then something seriously wrong is happening. So the traffic should generate more revenue. But if people are not buying on your website, if people are not purchasing stuff on your website, or at the least signing up for an account, then we need to find out what's causing all these leaks in the sales funnel. And that's what SalesIQ does. Some people might confuse you by dumbing down SalesIQ by simply saying, oh, it's just a live chat software. No. Or even known by its incorrect name, Zoho Chat. No, it's not. So there are several live chat apps in the market that do things for you. But SalesIQ has certain other capabilities that almost none of them have, or not bundled together in the way we have. So we're going to see how that's going to help your business. I hope I can change your perspective on that. So very briefly speaking, like I mentioned, you're going to do social media awareness, AdWords and billboards and everything. You're going to create an awareness for your brand that's going to bring in traffic. And people evaluate the offerings that you have on the website, consider if they need what you have, and they go on to sign up for an account and they go on to purchase something, and that's the conversion there from a visitor or a prospect to a customer. And once they get good service from you, good support from you, and it improves their lives, their businesses, they become loyal to your brand. And they start talking about your brand. Everywhere you go, people start talking about different brands and services. Are you going to listen to a celebrity on the television or a best friend that you trust? So word of mouth propagation of your brand has a lot of value. So what happens is, for you to get there to the last point, you need to first bring people here. And it doesn't stop with that. It goes all the way through several of these steps. The reason I'm showing you that is, like I said, different sources bring you traffic, and people interact with different aspects of your website. Some companies, Uber, for instance, started off with just the mobile app. They didn't even need their website. So you have many areas of your business that people interact with, and then they start advocating your brand. So the reason I'm showing you this is because SalesIQ can actually help you with the marketing aspect. We'll be saying how. It's going to help people move from being just a window shopper who's just here to see what your business offers to buying. And before buying, they have questions. And we're going to see how SalesIQ helps you there. And finally, they continue to receive such good support from you. And you guys make sure that your software, your service works so well for them that eventually they start advocating your product. So all these three areas will be handled by SalesIQ. We're going to see how. So SalesIQ, briefly, if you're new to this, is a prospect or a customer engagement platform. So we're going to see more on that. The keyword here is automatic visitor identification. Now, if you walk into a store, you would notice that at times the store staff gives certain people more attention than others. You have limited staff, but you have so many footfalls that from the staff's perspective, you just don't have the resources to attend to every customer, give them the same level of importance through the day in and day out. That's not going to be possible. So as a salesman or as a store staff, what you're going to do is, from your experience, by looking at people, you profile them. You profile serious buyers from window shoppers, and you approach these serious buyers. The same way, if you can replicate that process on the website, find out which visitors are serious buyers from their habits, from their behavior, and which visitors are not, then that allows you to convert all that extra traffic you're bringing to the website. But how do you know who are the serious visitors? So that's where SalesIQ comes into play. So all those who are familiar with SalesIQ's interface, you have seen the interface behind the rings, the radar rings, as we call them. If I'm a salesman and I'm monitoring SalesIQ, I see a visitor here, and I click him, this pop-up shows up. And what this pop-up does is it's giving me a lot of information. It tells me the person is a new visitor. It also tells me that this person is from California. And most importantly, it's telling me their company name and other information. So it's not just the company name. You can see the size of the company. You can see which domain they are in. And if you scroll down further, you can also see things like if they have raised capital recently, if they have been in a funding round and they've raised a lot of capital, it means they have enough funds to make purchases. So they are a hot prospect. So you see them, and you can see this green box here at the bottom left that says type your question and hit enter. And on the right side, you can see all the pages they've been browsing through. It can actually show you what we are talking about here. So this is me. So I'm here on a local network, so I'm not part of a company. There's nothing much to show. But you can see all the pages that I've been visiting on the right side, the navigation path, as we say. And yeah, you can see that I'm from Austin, Texas, and since I've been here often enough, it shows me that I'm a regular visitor. So based on this, I can hit this person up with a message saying, are you looking for discounts? If I notice that they're on the pricing page, I can tell them that if you're looking for bulk discounts, for instance, we have special offers going on. Now that may not have been on the website. So this visitor may not have known about it unless I hit them up with a message. So they see that, and they see my picture, they see my designation in the company, and they'll be like, okay, so let me try. What are your rates? And then we have a conversation. So even if they leave the conversation, the email addresses of the decision makers. So I'm going to email them and see if I can continue the conversation about what we discussed. Keep that conversation going, and eventually you will be able to convert them as a customer. So the thing is, the company information is very useful because it lets you find out what kind of visitors you have on your website. And for those of you who are wondering, well, my company doesn't deal with businesses. We are not a B2B enterprise. We are a B2C enterprise. So I have an answer for you as well. So for those of you who do have a SalesIQ account, go to settings, go to integrations in the top right corner. You see these two things here, Clearbit, as we call them. So what it's doing is SalesIQ is sending information to Clearbit, and Clearbit looks up the IP address, finds out who is using the internet line, and then the name of the company, and eventually every information about the company. But if you're a B2C customer, you can see the preview on the right shows an image of an employee. So these are individual customers. So you know John Doe is on your website, and you see his designation. He's an executive. The senior the designation is, it's assumed that the better his pay is, which means he has a lot of disposable income that he can spare to buy your services. So it's not just a 17-year-old kid. He is a serious guy. So your salesman knows the kind of person he is. In fact, this is even better than what you can do in a real brick and mortar store. You cannot find out where somebody is working by looking at them, but here you can. So you see the company that he is working with. It pulls up all of this information from different places, publicly available information. You have a lot of information pulled up from different places, LinkedIn, for instance, and you know their purchasing power capability. And once you have that information, you hit them up, you email them, you message them. There's another way you can contact them. I will tell you that. And you get them to buy. If your competitors don't have this information, they're not going to be able to reach him, but you did. So Clearbit integration with SalesIQ can help you narrow down on companies that are visiting your website and browsing your services. So that works for the B2B guys here, as well as individuals purchasing your services. So B2C is covered as well. So what if you're chatting with somebody and They ask you a lot of questions. They want a demo and so on. What do you do then? You can see on the right side, it shows you the company information again, more and more information. You can see at the bottom right there, funds raised, 50 million. So you can see the funds raised and all other information there. So now you know who you're going to reach out to, and you know what to do with them. So one major problem in connecting with them, now that you've identified them, is that you're saying, I'm a one-man or a two-man business, so I don't have resources to deal with them. So what do? I don't have people to reach out to these customers that you've identified, whose company information that we know. So that is where SalesIQ's automatic artificial intelligence powered chatbot comes into play. So here's a website, and let's say you're a customer and you start a chat, okay? So what happens now is, there you go. I'm going to read that out, it's not clear. So, hello, welcome to Zilker Travels. My name is Chloe, your conversational assistant. How may I help you? I'll try zooming that in. Yeah. Just don't be scared, because the bot is called Skynet, doesn't have any sinister ambitions. So how can I help you? I just want to fool around, so I say, I don't know, Chloe. I'm not feeling well. Let's see what it says. Well, it's offering me a pill. So let's say I haven't seen the movie. So I ask it, what's the difference? Wow. So she's not just a conversational assistant. She might remind you of your ex. So if you want to be sure, emphasis added, who are you, really? My name is Chloe, a conversational bot, but I have another name, a name my creator gave me. Ooh. It is that. Ouch. Ouch. So, for those of you who haven't seen the movie Matrix, you won't get the context, but for those of you who have, like me, oh my God. So it can keep on going, giving you dialogues from the movie. So the point is, you can train the bot anywhere you have. If you have handled hundreds of conversations in the past, if your staff have been giving different answers to customers, it can learn from that. Just click a single button and say, learn from previous conversations. It's going to do that, so you don't have to do any training. It's going to replicate your way of responding to your customers. That's called machine learning. Now, if you're new to SalesIQ and say, if somebody asks this question, you have to respond this way, you can train the bot that way too. 70% of your questions are going to be repetitive. If this thing is going to take care of that, then you've seen that there's still a way for people to connect with you and leave you a message if they don't feel the bot has answered all of their questions. So 70% load is reduced, you just deal with remaining 20 and 30%. The customers still get answers. And we have also made sure that we have introduced what's called an FAQ section that gives you answers to different frequently asked questions. So here's a sample. Okay, you click this on the chat window before you start a chat. It gives you, different questions and different answers. You see all of them. You find it helpful, you import it. If you still have a question, you click go to chat. And with that, you're able to connect with a human representative or a bot and get more of your questions answered. So we have taken measures to make sure that your incoming chat volume is reduced without compromising on making sure your customers do find what they are looking for. They still have questions. The bot takes care of 7 out of 10 chats. You just deal with the scraps. and you still increase the conversions. Thank you.